Right guys, I'm going to run you through this quite quickly. I can't do it and talk at the same time because obviously I've got to wear my mask for this job, but I have switched to this plastic bottle recycling product because the rock wool that I did in the dado area was a nightmare. I was itchy as hell, so I've swapped to this. But what I'm doing on this one, I've seen on a lot of people's, they just put this wool in, but what I'm doing on my van, I'm putting the wool in and I'm also putting on top of that the 25mm Kingspan, which will go in there. So what I do is I just make it a little bit bigger than the actual frame, but obviously not top to bottom, so that I can get it in, and then I push it beyond the point and then I push it back and it's spring loaded so it stays in place, and that way I've got double protection. So I'm really pleased about doing it this way. I'm going to be happy that this will work properly. This is something like 2.75 kilowatts thermal rating. The rock wool I used was something like 2.75 kilowatts, 2.5 as well. So it's no different if I've swapped from that to the other. So what I have to do is just basically pack that in. I've not done it because I need to wear a mask and I can't talk, but I've packed that in first, especially up in these voids, top and bottom. And then I just shove this in like this. Push it back, and there you go, spring loaded, staying in really tight. Same again with this one. I have pre-cut these, by the way, but you don't want to see a video of me cutting all the pieces out. So this one's pre-cut and tested, everything's tested. I have to do that, or else I just keep retaking and retaking. But anyway, so we've got a nice thick pad here. This gets shoved into the right down to the bottom so we can squeeze it in, and then push back up again, and it traps in there, We've got the wool behind it, we've got the thermoboard in front of it. You can't get any better than that. And I'm going to have the 50mm on top. I don't think I'm going to have the wool on top, but it's important that heat rises, so this area has to be really well insulated. This ain't gonna, I don't know what I'm going to do for the panels below. I'm going to have to find a way of stopping them from falling out. I ain't worked that one out yet, but we'll get to that. But for now, we'll do a bit of time lapse, see me getting it all on. Right, this one in the corner, I should really just put the wool in it, but I've learnt a little trick in Nam. That's not in Nam, and I've broke the back so I can slide it around the corner on this. Now there's no room for it to slide if I pack it with the wool on this on the face, so I'm going to put it in and I'm going to put the wool on the front side instead in this instance. I'll try and squeeze it in. As you can see, it's all packed in there, the wool, so I'm omitting it now. So push it to spring load it. That's that one, and I think I've done it the wrong way around because that's got to push down there first. I'll never get it in. Start again. Dirty fingers. Bottom one. Squeeze, shove it back. That's great because all these nooks and crannies have all got wool in, packed in the sides and all up here and all in there and all around here, and at the bottom it's all got wool in it. So I'm going to just pack a bit of wool on the front and then that's done. Right, I'm going to put some foam into these little cavities here. Now you've got to be very careful when you do this, because if you put too much in, I mean it can come out with these holes, but if you put too much in it could buckle the outside skin and not look very nice. So be really careful when you do that. Just cut it shy and it'll still keep expanding afterwards. If you leave these areas open, it'll expand into it, and if it doesn't, well, you can fill it afterwards. Right then guys, I hope you enjoyed that long insulation of the walls. It's been quite a lengthy process, about 450 to 500 pounds worth of insulation has gone into the walls alone. I have got included in that price the insulation for the ceiling as well, but you know, it all adds up with the thermal boarding, the foam, the tape. The aluminium tape alone is quite expensive, and you use quite a lot of that stuff, and then this bubble wrap. But anyway, we've got this on now. The whole van's finished, so the next video will be the ply going on. You can see some of the ply on here now, because like I said before, some of my videos are a bit back to front. I had to put the boards on because I wanted to put some electrics on the wall and stuff. So, but anyway, you will see it categorized as it goes along. But basically, just to recap what's happened, I've put the thermoboard, I call it thermoboard anyway, thermal boarding in each of the panels and in all of these, but I've double insulated with the wool in the top panels. Down below I've double boarded. I was going to put the wool, but I found it a bit of a problem. I couldn't get it all in because it's hard to hang in this area. I've put double boards in this panel and this panel and the panel over there, but the two panels near the bed, they're not as wide, so I couldn't get double boards in that area, so I've had to put one layer of board in and then some wool on top. But I did actually have to rip some of that wool off as well to make it half the thickness, because it's padded right out, and when I push the board on, when the board goes, clips on here and on here and on here, it's going to bulk out, and that's going to reduce the space for my sleeping area. Now I'm only quite short, so I don't need a massive, you know, width at length for the bed, so I'm going to be all right. I should be all right with this. The bed going this way gives me a lot more room that way for living space. I will have a bed going that way, the settee, which will comply to the 1.8 length. It'll be a settee and it'll just flip up at the end, and it will make that extra distance for when you convert into a bed from a settee to a bed. But anyway, that's another video as well. So I put these rails along here and down here, so now we've got some really good fixing points. If I decide to put lockers up here, I'm definitely putting them on that side with the kitchen, but if I decide in the future to put them up here, I've got a really good anchorage point. I've also got good anchorage points for putting the plywood back on. Now, it's a long story about the finish of this. I'm actually going to be putting a decorative finish on the boarding. It's not going to be a pre-finished board, but it will look pre-finished. It will look factory finished when it's done. It's something that I'll be showing you in the near future, what I'm actually planning on doing on this. But you'll like it. It's really interesting, and it's a product that I can drill all the holes into the plywood, fill the holes. I can miscut things, I can make mistakes, and I can fill everything, and then when I spray this product onto the surface, all those mistakes will have gone and disappeared. The same with the roof. I can put the roof on the ceiling on in sections and double screw the joints so there's no movement, fill the joints so that there's no sign of any joints at all. And when I spray the ceiling, again, it will look like a full-on pre-finished ceiling, no screw holes, no nothing. The thing is as well that I wanted to show about this decorative product, it will actually blend. So if I've got curvatures in the bodywork and things like that, this product will blend in and onto the framework, metal framework, and it will all look as one, like carpet. Now, I was thinking about putting carpet, but it can look a bit tacky if it's a bit of a DIY jobby. But this product is going to look fantastic. It's something I do at work anyway, so it's something I'm used to. So I'm confident it'll look good. I've just never done it in a van before because obviously a van moves, you know, the metal expands and contracts, and if I'm doing a wooden surface and then a metal surface and blending the two in, there could be potential movement on that crack. That's the experiment I'm going to be performing in this van. If it's crap and it doesn't work, then I will do a different thing next year, something like that, but I'm pretty confident it'll work, to be honest. I'll maybe give you a sneak preview of a sample of what I'm going to be putting on there as well, if I can dig one out. I can dig a sample out, but I just can't dig the colour because I haven't made the colour I want for this van yet, so that's the thing. So if I show you it, it'll be something that's not this colour. So anyway, so we've got the double board on, we've got the rail on, we've got the vapour barrier. I've got in the cut holes out for sockets to go in and everything. That's all sealed off and all that kind of stuff. So all I need to do now is get the ply. I was going to put the old ply back on, and I was going to switch it that way, so because 4 foot takes me up to about here, and then it leaves me a little gap for putting LED strip lights through there in a diffuser around, which is the plan. But a lot of the pieces are cut at angles, like at the end here, and then there's bits cut out for noggins and stuff, and so it turns out I can't really use that at an angle because I'm not going to be able to complete it. I'm not going to have enough. So I thought, you know what, I'll just have a fresh board. The only joint I'm going to have is here, which is away, you know, there'll be a monitor here or something will be here, so you won't see much of it, and it's out the way from what you can see. Behind the bed will be a full panel. There'll be a joint behind the cupboard on this side, and then the next joint will be in the bathroom area, which is going to get covered with PVA, a PVA plastic white finish anyway, so you won't see the joint in there. So it's going to be relatively jointless on the walls. That's the plan. This joint here, well, that's going to, the settee is going to be above here, the bed's going to be above here, and this side's all units, so it's all going to be above that joint, and even the bed's going to be above that joint as well, pillars and all that kind of stuff. You won't see any of that. So yeah, should be quite interesting. We are on lockdown at the moment. I don't know if I can get the ply, but somebody has told me I can order from B&Q, so that's probably what I'll do. And then the next video will be explaining, showing the woodwork that I've put on and how I'm going to do things. So on that note, goodbye. See you on the next video.